How's it going there, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Tommy, aka Pyrotoz. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to give you a moveset guide today on Corviknight, the new steel flying type introduced into Pokémon Sword and Shield. It's also one of the starter birds in the game, although it seems to be a lot better than all the previous gens, barring Staraptor perhaps. So let's take a look and see what it can do. So first off, let's take a look at the base stats and the abilities. So abilities are Pressure, Unnerve, and Mirror Armor. Pressure, Unnerve have been there before. Pressure will double the PP usage of the opponent. Unnerve will prevent berry activation. And Mirror Armor, which is a new one, will reflect any stat lowering effects back to the opponent, which is quite a nice ability. That's one I'm going to recommend for both my movesets here, but if you do prefer the other ones, fine. Unnerve can probably get you some good usage against specific sets. Pressure, maybe for a stall team, up to you. Base stat total. So clearly the base stats are fairly evenly divided, not much into special attack. It's clearly meant to be more of a physical tank. So good physical attack, good HP, good defense. Speed is about average. Special defense is alright, but special attack, don't even bother. Not worth it. So let's go ahead and start with the first set, which is a more defensive set, which I imagine will be the most common set to run on this thing. Let me say first, I don't expect Corviknight to be very high tier. I expect it to be perhaps RU, maybe UU. The typing is very nice, but it just doesn't have the base stats or the move pool or something like Skarmory, which has obviously hazards going for it and higher defense stat. But I am looking forward to it, and like I said, it is one of the better sort of early game birds. So this is the defensive set I'm going to go with. It is max defense, max HP, tiny little bit of speed because why not. Brave Bird, Roost, Defog for the hazards of course. Now for that final move, I would normally tell you to run Toxic here, but turns out that Toxic is actually not a TM in this game, so fortunately or unfortunately you can't run that. So my suggestion is going to be U-turn for the momentum, because you'll probably force a lot of switches from physical attackers, which gives you the optimal switch into whatever they bring in. Or Taunt, it has a decent amount of speed, so Taunt could potentially work out here for other defensive mons, or even potentially stopping something like Trick Room. Something like Carbink springs to mind, or Bastiodon. For the item, I'm just going to recommend the tried and tested Leftovers. Very nice extra recovery. Rocky Helmet's good as well, I just personally prefer Leftovers. I'm going to go into the offensive set. I do not expect this to be very common, but I think it's a fun set and potentially could do some great work in the lower tiers. What you're basically looking out for with this set is to avoid electric types. Electric types are normally special based. Anything with Volt Switch and Thunderbolt will probably destroy you. That said, if you can stand against a team which is mostly physical based, you can outspeed it perhaps with a little bit of speed investment that takes you up to base 80s uninvested. For example, Mandibuzz or Blastoise I think is just below 80, something like that for example. It's a fairly good benchmark to hit. So you got your Brave Bird, you got your Roost, you got your Bulk Up. The final move is up to you. I personally prefer Body Press here because it's a new move introduced this gen. It's a fighting type move, so it gives you good coverage with flying. Lets you hit rock types and steel types. What it essentially does is it takes your defense stat and uses it as opposed to your offense stat. So you're bulking up, you're boosting your attack, which helps Brave Bird, but you're also boosting your defense, which helps Body Press, which is very nice. So you have that great coverage there. My other recommendation for that slot would be Power Trip, because it boosts its power by 20 base power for every stat boost, so every bulk up will give you an extra 40 base power. It's a dark type move. Corviknight actually learns it fairly early on, which is quite interesting. And it can actually rack up some very heavy damage once you've set up a couple of bulk ups. You could also go with Iron Head. Nice stab move, very reliable. So, completely up to you. My personal choice, like I said, is just Body Press, just for the coverage. But, depending on what ends up in the tiers around it, you might want to swap that out for other stuff. That's all I've got to say about Corviknight. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like if you did find it enjoyable or informative, and hit that sub button if you want to see more videos from me. Thank you for watching, and see you later.